I think most of us were willing to just sit there and stay in that place. So as we come back into the awareness of we're here and we're in this room, for the benefit of those who are first-time visitors here, and as a reminder for those of us who have been in this teaching for quite a while, Centers for Spiritual Living is based upon the teaching of Ernest Holmes, the founder, who wrote the textbook called The Science of Mind. And this is our teaching symbol that represents the wholeness of all that is and how it moves from spirit down into the individualized form. So Centers for Spiritual Living, Science of Mind is a philosophy, it's a faith, and it's a way of living. And I'm constantly reminded about calling upon my faith and practicing this way of living as we continue to go through the challenges of life. And it seems like many of us have had major challenges that we've been moving through in these last couple of weeks. And I'm blessed because I've had a number of individuals who were willing to step in for me. So Reverend Carrie came in and spoke, and Reverend Caroline was here speaking, and Reverend Carrie will be back next week, and then Reverend Kim is going to come in and speak, partly because we're celebrating this month, the Women's Month, and so I brought in a number of female ministers to speak and to represent that aspect of the universe. I was thinking this morning, it's quite interesting that other than myself, the other ministers here, Reverend Ann, Reverend Linda, the practitioners, Eloise and Caitlin and Sony, they're all female. So we have a large energy here of the female presence and the feminine presence in our center here. So guys, we need to step forward and also represent ourselves in this aspect of the divine. Each month, the organization, which is based out of Golden, Colorado, that's where our headquarters is, we have over 400 centers and teaching chapters around the world. They present a theme, a topic, and along with our monthly publication, the Science of Mind magazine, these are interwoven. Although I didn't quite find the topic for today in the Science of Mind magazine quite matching up with the feminine aspect of the topic for the month. So I have a lot that I want to weave in and bring together in the message today. The title of my talk was A Legacy of We being the connectedness, the interaction of all of us together, because in this teaching, in this philosophy, we believe that there is only one life, one mind, one power. All of that is interconnected into the oneness, and it shows up and it represents itself in the individualized personality and form of each of us as we show up in our own personality, as I am in Michael or Whitefeather or Victoria or Eloise or Reverend Ann or each and every one of you. We are all spirit. We are all coming from that same place, that divine presence, that essence. And it's important that we understand that everything is encompassed in that oneness. So as I'm bringing forth this message, we're talking about celebrating women. We're talking about honoring the feminine aspect of the divine presence, knowing that it is there within each and every one of us. It's more than just the body parts of who we are. That when we are speaking of this philosophy, we're speaking of this idea of oneness, we're talking about the whole complete package that is being presented everywhere, in all things and in all times. The challenge that I think that we've been moving through as a human race, as humanity, is to come into this awareness that we are already spirit. We are already immortal, eternal, and absolute. That's where we come from. That place, that first cause, where there is no beginning, there is no end, that it always just simply is. That it's only in this expression that we show up in physical form that we have created out of that one mind this idea of time and space. For in the mind of God or spirit or whatever it is that you choose to call it, in that infinite intelligence, there really is no time and space. It's all present in the very moment now. And so when we come into this expression, we come into a limited form. We come into a temporary form that shows up as an individual personal life. And as far as I can tell, in this experience, there's always challenge. There's always going to be a challenge that's going to be brought forth. And our purpose here, our opportunity here, is to see beyond that challenge, to see beyond what is limited form, and to open up into the awareness and into that understanding that who we truly are as divine spirit in expression is eternal, immortal, and forever. So we're just moving through this. And what we have available to us through our power of our imagination, through the power of our mind, through that divine presence, that we can move through whatever looks like a challenge. We can see it as an opportunity, and we can step into the expression that I'm moving through this, and whatever shows up, that it is not necessarily the all of who I am, but it's just a momentary expression. With that, and as I've been practicing this teaching, I've been moving through a lot of experiences in my life that at some times were devastating and were, to that point of there were times in my life when I looked at this idea that it would be the easiest thing to do would be just to take myself out of this life. And I know that, that's a scary moment when you face yourself in the morning and you're looking in the mirror, and the words that come out of your mouth is, I understand why people do some of the most horrible, tragic things that they do in their life, because it's frightening to be in this experience. And yet, if you can move through that, if you can grasp hold of the idea that there is something more, then I believe we can step out into life, into this expression, and we can, in a way, overcome all of that which seems like a disaster or a tragedy. We're faced right now in this expression and in this experience in this world with a virus that seems to be wanting to create all sorts of fear and panic by whatever means that it can. And that doesn't mean that we should just ignore it and pretend like it's not there, because it is real. As everything in this physical world is as real to us as it can possibly be. This is solid wood here, and you can pretend like it's not there, but if you walk into it, it's going to hurt. And that's the reality of this world. But we don't have to allow that reality to control the essence of who we really are. If there's a message that I could say today, it would be, do the best that you can do with what you have available to you. Take the necessary precautions that seem reasonable, that seem intuitive, that seem natural, as people have been doing for eons, moving through all sorts of experiences, and then continue to grow and expand and move into that place of awareness of the power and the presence that you have to us. In our teaching, we say that we have the power through our mind, we have the power to heal. Now, I spent a lot of time trying to heal a lot of people who eventually died on me or died within my presence. And I questioned my faith. I questioned this idea of, what is this teaching that says that I can heal something and then, be faced with that ultimate expression? The way that I've come to deal with this is to understand is that this is truly temporal. Nobody gets out of this alive. This is a process, this is an experience that we're moving through as physical beings, but it is not the essence of who we truly are. I have discovered, and I have had that grace and that blessing to move through a physical illness, move through a physical disease, and have an actual healing presence come through me or come through the body of another person. And they were able to move beyond that and continue on in their life in a joyful and purposeful way. So I know that it's possible. But as I said in the beginning, as long as we're still here, there's more to be done. I don't have the absolute answer to anything or everything. But what I have come to realize is that what is available to us, the answer that is available to us, is that we can enjoy our life, we can experience our life in a more glorious manner, in a way, if we are using the principles that are available to us, the tools that are available to us in each and every day, in each and every moment. I have a practice of writing in a little gratitude journal every morning. Every morning I write down, I begin with the date, that it is Sunday, March 8th, 2020. I am grateful for, and then I begin to write down things that come to my mind. And as I've been doing that for some time, I realize that my day experience is more joyful, even though things still happen. The bumper sticker, life happens, or something to that effect. It does. Life happens. And some of it is not pretty. Some of it is not comfortable. Some of it is not the way that we would want it to be. But even with that in my experience, I still find that I move through my day with more joy, more grace, more beauty, and more balance than I've ever had before, because I continue to use the practice, use the tools that are available for me. And as I do so, then my life continues to grow and expand, and that I find that I'm able to move through those challenges. And I see them as opportunities. I see them as a way for me to find a new expression. The better me, the higher me, the greater yet to be in that experience. When I drove in this morning, I thought, I've been gone for 2 weeks, and already the whole front area of our campus here seems to have blossomed with these wonderful green sprouts that are taking over the front area here. And I know that at the Core Council today we're going to talk about that and how to handle that. But it seems like in this area that we have, these 2.5 acres that we have available to us, there's a lot of greenery growing on. I know John's been working at trying to keep some of it at bay, and Whitefeather's been working at it, and we were supposed to have a beautification, and then it rained, and then there was more of it. And it's like, I realized that one of the things that I write in my gratitude journal is abundance. And so, it's like abundance shows up in so many ways. Be careful what you ask for. You might want to be a little bit more clear about what it is that you're looking at. The topic that was given out of the home office for the theme for today is the divine feminine in all and our living legacy. And it wanted to speak a lot about the women in our movement that have been a part of this. And there's a lot of history that goes into how we've gotten to where we are today. I'm not going to give you that today. That comes up in a classwork if you want to take one of the courses. And I'm going to speak about that in a minute too. But they give us this quote that I wanted to read to you. The divine feminine. It represents the connection to the part of your consciousness that is responsible for nurturing, intuition, empathy, regardless of your gender. The connection to the part of your consciousness that is responsible for nurture, intuition, and empathy. The divine feminine is the aspect of the self associated with creation, intuition, community, sensuality, and collaboration. All of these are wonderful virtues that I know that I want to draw into my life and into my experience. I know that I want to draw it into the life and into the experience of our beloved community, the Center for Spiritual Living, Menifee Valley. And I'm trusting that each of you would like to draw those into your life and into your experience. And the way in which we do that is that we resist the temptation to fall into fear and panic and doubt and uncertainty, and that we stand in the truth that we know that we are all part of the greater one, that we are all part of that divine intelligence, that absolute power, that one mind that through itself is creating into this physical universe each and every one of us as an individualized and unique personality, that you are here by divine purpose. You are here by that urge of spirit that wants to be an expression in a very unique way in which only you can be. You are here to fulfill that purpose. You are here to be the most magnificent and the greatest you that you can be. And the way in which we do that is that we practice these principles, that we continue to grow and expand our consciousness, that we step into that power and that presence that is already available, always has been, always will be, always in this moment, because it is forever eternal and absolute. And what I want to offer in a way in which that we can we can grow and expand to do that is that in April, I want to begin the course, the class, the foundations in the science of mind. And the way in which I'm going to do that is I'm going to do it online, because I live in the Palm Springs area, which is a distance away, and most of you live in this area. So in order for us to get together, I want to do that on an online process. The intent is that we're going to put up our TV monitors, we're going to get them installed, and then we can then do this through a Zoom video conference. Or if you have a laptop and you have access, so there's a camera on it, and you have access to the Wi-Fi, I will meet with you and we can figure out how you can set that up. There are some flyers that I put on the table this morning that describe the class and give the registration information. So that's going to be on a Tuesday evening starting in April. The teachings that we provide, the meditations that we do, the affirmations that we say, the practitioners that are available to you after service are the tools that we are providing for each and every person to grow and expand in your consciousness. Because as we do that, and here's the we that I was talking about in the topic, as we do that together collectively, we will enhance our individual life. We will enhance and grow and expand the life of this center, and we will influence and impact the life in the community that surrounds us and that ripples out throughout the world, ripples out throughout the galaxy, and it ripples out throughout the universe, because it is all part of us. It is all a part of that one. The affirmation for the day that I want to give you: accepting and honoring the divine feminine within. I recognize my power to manifest, nurture, and create community. Accepting and honoring the divine feminine within. I recognize my power to manifest, nurture, and create community. Resist the temptation of fear. Resist that temptation of lack and disease and disharmony. Call upon your higher self, that feminine aspect that is within each and every one of you, to manifest, to nurture, and to create community. Together, we will create our beloved community, a place in which we can feel the love, a place in which we can feel safe, a place in which we can show up being just who we are, whole, perfect, and complete. And so it is. Namaste.